Hey guys, in this session, I'm going to teach you a technique called tracking. Okay, I'll first tell you what tracking is. See, this is the source clip that I'm going to use for today's exercise. It's just a short clip with the camera movement. Girl is using a mobile phone. Okay, so there is a slight movement in the camera, it's panning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to track the movement of this camera based on a point in this video. Okay, this video has several points. I'm going to choose a point. Okay, maybe this small point here. Okay, so I'll choose this and I'll track the movement of the camera and then attach some other object to the tracked point. So I'll press S, go to the settings and make it to HD 1080, and the only clip that we have now is smartphone 2.mov. So this is the one. So when I connect this, okay, you see here I got this. Okay, so here I wanted to attach a node, a node called tracking. Okay, I want to attach a tracking node, so I will just type track. Okay, so when you attach this you get a tracker window like this. I'll restrict this to number 2. Okay, so this is the tracker window. Here I wanted to add a track. Just add a track, you get a tracker like this. This is a single point tracker, you can move this. So this is the place that I wanted to track this black dot. Okay, so if you want to adjust the size of the tracking, the boundaries, you can adjust like this, or you can just click somewhere, press shift and then move. Okay, with shift it transforms uniformly, you can see. Okay, so this is the point. So here you get the tracker properties. Okay, see, this is track next. When I track next, I'm moving frame by frame. You see my point is tracking that. Or you can even press this. Okay, track to end. Okay, or this is track forward range. So I am in 44, I'll press track forward range, or you press this. Okay, so the tracking is happening. Now see, in frame number 85, the track point is missing. My system cannot see the track because it's blurred. Okay, so for this reason what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another node to the tracking. Okay, so see, this is entirely missing. You can see it. Where is the dot is missing, it's very blurred. Okay, so go back, select the tracker and delete it. I'll tell you another method of doing this. You see here, I'll add a color correction node. Okay, this is the color corrector node. Here in the contrast, I'll increase the contrast. When the contrast is increased, you see the black dot. See, it's very clear. I'll press disable D. See, this is how it was earlier. Now you see how it is. Okay, now I add tracker to this node, and add track. Now take this, keep it here. See, you are in 37th frame. Okay, you are in frame number 37. So set the boundary, keep the tracker somewhere in the dark place, then set the boundary. After setting the boundary, yeah, this is fine. I don't want to go here, only this part. Okay, Now I can track this forward. See, now it's not stopping. Again in frame number 85 there is a problem. You see it has moved. Okay, here this has moved. Now move forward to see tracking is going somewhere else, which means there is a problem with the tracker. Okay, so it's not tracking properly. So come back. Come back to that frame where you face the problem. Till here it's okay. Check. See here it's okay. And in some place it's missing. Okay. So you have to go back to the color corrector node and correct the color. Okay, when you increase the contrast and increase the contrast of the shadows and the saturation, you see now. Okay, now go back. This is the tracked points from where you started tracking. You can see the point from where you started tracking, actually from 37 you can see here. Okay, so from 37 you have to track the previous frame. If you started from the first frame, this is not required. Okay, this is track to start. So I have tracked to the start point. Now I'll just come here, check, then track to end. So there's some problem because the tracking is not fine here. You can see the point is completely moved. So you have to find out from where it has moved. Even here it's not correct. Here it's correct. Here it started moving. Okay. So from this point, what you have to do is you have to remove the track points and you have to set the track point again here. Now track forward. Again, there's a problem here. You see this has moved. Then again track forward. Okay, this is fine. So when you track, find out if it is in the center. Like this, we are tracking. See, it's still in the center. It's still moving. If there is any error, stop there and track it properly. So now 50%, 60%, yeah, it's almost done. So the tracking is done now. I can see here. Okay, so like this we do the tracking. Now the tracking is done from the first frame till the last frame. For this tracker, I wanted to include, a text which will be merged with the tracker. Okay, so this is how you include a text. It's a text node. Okay, you can see here, you get the properties here. Just type some message here. Follow me, something, whatever that you want. Okay, so this is the text that I have typed. You can see here, and this text has to be merged, isn't it? We'll use a merge node. This text on top and this tracker in the background, and this merge will attach here, and this is removed. Okay, see here, this is the text. Okay, now this text I wanted to bring here, so I'll add a transform node for the text. I wanted to transform the size of the text. Okay, okay, let it be like this. Okay, this is the transform. To this transform, in the translate, what I'm doing is I am going to link this to tracker, and my tracker number is 1. Okay, so I'm linking it. Now it is linked. It is linked, but it is in some other position. You can see here when I play, it's linked. Okay, now in order to move this text down, I'll add another transform for the text. Okay, now this text is transformed. With this transform, I can bring it down. Okay, now go back, play. You see the text is following the tracker. Whatever movements that happens is tracked. This happens to the entire sequence. I'll stop here, go back, play. You can see how smooth it is. Got it? So from here is where you wanted to take the output. So I'll use a reformat node for, undo. For this merge, I'll use a reformat node. From this reformat, I'll use a write node. Okay, and let it be here. This write node, double click and choose a file name, follow me .mov. Save, copy this, paste the proxy. For proxy, you have to give a %d, and here it's mov. Okay, and here when you render, how many frames you want? You want 285 frames, then just go viewer into out. Okay, whatever length is there in the viewer, you are going to render. Here this codec, you can select whichever codec you want. Okay, let it be Apple ProRes here. Give OK. So depending upon your computer's RAM, your computer's graphic card, the configuration, it will take time. Okay, for me it shows less than 2 minutes. You check how much time it requires in your computer or in the class computer. So let's just wait for a minute to see the output. You see every node, every action is rendered. Okay, so this is one of the important concepts, the tracking. This is single point track because I have used only one point here for the tracking. Okay, with this you can do a different stuff. You can take different footage and you can try tracking different points in the footage and attach it to different objects or text or any animated layer or a 3D object or whatever that you want. Okay, so it's almost done. It's 80 percentage plus. It's nearing to the completion. Totally there are 285 frames. You can see here it's nearing the end. Yes, it's done. So the output, what did I save? I saved it as follow me. Follow me. I'll open it with the VLC player. See this color contrast, you can see here, this is the contrast that I gave. Suppose, see, it's perfectly tracked, very pretty much perfect. So this color contrast, if you don't want this color contrast, if you want the natural color, you can come back here. Okay, to keep it pretty natural, you can just disable this. Disable. Now the same tracking will happen with the natural color. Now you can render it. If you render the same with the natural color, you get this type of output. You can see here. It doesn't have the color contrast. Okay. So to play it faster, I'll reduce the size to 1:4 and play. See here, the colors are pretty natural here. There is no contrast. But here, what you got as output, this is with the contrast. If you don't want the contrast, I'll show you the difference. See the contrast here and see the natural color here. But still the tracking works. So what I did, I just disabled this. Press D for disable, again D for enabling the same node. Okay, so this is how you use tracking and then you achieve some outputs. Okay, so this is one of the important exercises. Understand the concept and then follow my tutorial, complete this. And soon after you complete, you can try using your own clip and tracking with some other text. Okay, maybe you can shoot your own video and attach some text to your head movements, maybe your name, okay, or whatever you want. Okay, so try this. See you. Bye bye.